Good morning, it's Beth from Ruth Stitchery and ruthstitchery.com. It is Friday, the 4th of July. The store is closed, so I thought I would video from my house, and hopefully all of you have a wonderful 4th of July with your friends and your family. This quick video is going to be another video from some questions we get asked quite a bit, and it has to do with math. Math was my favorite subject in school growing up. I got a degree in accounting because it was all about numbers and formulas, and I just love that stuff. So imagine my excitement when I started to quilt and realized there's a lot of math in quilting. And so one of the questions we get asked so often in the store is how to figure out how much yardage you need for binding. Now, of course, a pattern typically is going to tell you how much yardage you need and how many strips to cut. So this is for instances where maybe you've just had some extra blocks, you put them together, you weren't following a pattern, and now you're trying to figure out what you need. Or you took a pattern and you decided you wanted to make it bigger or you wanted to make it smaller, and you need to figure out what do you need to buy for that binding. So I'm going to kind of walk you through what basically we do in the store to figure that out for you. So I'm going to be throwing lots of numbers out. I wrote them on papers, so hopefully that will help you figure out what I'm talking about. So I'm going to use this table runner as my example. This is centerpieced from Robin Pickens that I just finished at my retreat, and had to figure out how much binding did I need. So the first thing that you need to do is find the perimeter. So what do I mean by that? You basically need to figure out how many inches is it all the way around. So I have measured this one. My shorter ends are 16.5. My longer sides are 59 inches. So I took my calculator and I had to figure that out. So this sort of shows you the math. Hopefully this is not backwards for you, but basically I did 16.5 plus 16.5 plus 59 plus 59, and that gave me 151 inches. Now I always add about 10 inches to that measurement of my perimeter. So here I added 10, basically got 161 inches is how much I need total for my binding. Okay, so then I have to figure out, okay, 161 inches, how many strips is that? Well, most width of fabric, you get about 40 inches of usable. Sometimes it's a little bit more than that. So it's really 40 to 42 inches of usable fabric once you cut those selvages off. So I always use 40 as my calculation just in case. So basically I take that 161 inches that I just figured out that I need, I divide it by 40 usable inches, and it tells me I need 4.02 strips. Now, since I added that 10 inches, that 0.02 I'm not worried about. So I realize I need 4 inches. 4 strips to cut. So if it was a little bit more than that, if it went into like 4.1, then I would say, okay, I need to round up and I need 5. But because this was so close to 4 and I knew I had added that extra, I knew I needed 4 strips with the fabric for my binding. Last thing you need to do is figure out how wide do you prefer your binding to be. Usually binding strips are cut anywhere from 2 inches to 2.5 inches. So I like right in the middle. I usually cut my binding 2 1/4. And so I know that now that I know I need 4 strips and I know I like 2 1/4, I'm gonna take that 2 1/4 times 4 strips gives me 9 inches. So that is right at 1/4 yard. And I kind of like to give myself at least one oops strip. So usually I will take whatever my calculation comes out to, and if I needed to cut one more strip, where does that take me? So I went up to 12 inches, which is 1/3 of a yard. So I know that for this quilt, I need 1/3 of a yard. So that's what I bought and made my binding strip. Look how cute that stripe is. So now I'm ready to get this sewn onto my quilt. So hopefully this was helpful. I kind of use this same calculation when I'm trying to figure out borders. There's a little bit more that might go into it with borders, but we thought this would be a fantastic little tip so that you could figure out how much binding you need if you don't have a quilt store near you or you just don't even know where to start. But this is what we do in the store. I hope this was helpful. Please don't forget to share our videos and have a wonderful 4th of July.